Hi, happy Saturday, happy weekend. I hope you had a beautiful and a very productive week. So, as we all know, the presidential elections are right around the corner. And so, I encourage you to study the presidential candidates and not just the general elections, but the primary and special elections as well, because those also really matter as well. And so once you do, it's really important to make a conscious decision, and not just studying their role, but also their history and how they align with your spiritual, economic, and political belief, because that's really key. Um, Try not to look so much just into race or identity, and don't always rely on the media, because the media isn't there to enlighten, they're there to produce. And I believe that democracy is something that is beautiful, and it really works when we all participate in it as far as the electoral process goes. And so I encourage you to vote, and to vote prepared. And so that's my message, my early message, before this very interesting presidential election that we have coming up. So, and I know, in I believe in every state there are, early elections that have been going on for a few weeks now. So I definitely encourage you to vote. It's a privilege if you when you can, and um, you become a part of something not just so important to the overall economy, but you're also making history as well. So back on topic. So this past week, the topic of self-reflection popped into my mind, and um, I felt like I just really needed to briefly address it. So, what is self-reflection? Self-reflection, in my eyes, is noticing and evaluating your thoughts, feelings, actions, and decisions. It's a chance for personal growth and development, where you begin to see and know exactly who you are. It's what helps you understand your values through your eyes, and what leads you to feel confident even when society makes you feel like something is different about you. Self reflection goes so deep because you have a chance to really discover and explore and find your identity. What do you love? What motivates or drains you? These answers are what can really help you find clarity and understanding about yourself. When you have a clear reflection of who you are, you realize that your worth doesn't and will never depend on being a part of a group or a societal image. This reflection really shifts your thinking to who you are becoming at this time. So why is self-reflection important? Because it leads you to being at peace with yourself. And that's important, very important. And you experience, or you go from experiencing to really understanding a little bit more about yourself. And you also feel encouraged to be able to identify areas that you feel needs improvement and areas that you know you have your strengths in. I really believed, and I've always believed, that a part of the problem that we face when it comes to self-reflection is how we think others may see us. Where you have this idea that people aren't going to think well of you unless everything is okay or everything is just going amazing. But if you ask almost every person how they're doing or how they are, they'll usually say things like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm fine. How are you?" But in reality, they could be really facing so many hidden challenges. And it's understandable, that we don't want to tell everybody or everyone everything and what's really going on. But I think a really great way for us to start self-reflecting is to be honest with ourselves and really with one another. Practicing self-reflection is going to really take discipline and intention. It requires not focusing on all of the chaos in this world that we live in, and just simply taking the time to think about your life. And that's not something that's very simple for so many people to do, but it's such a valuable practice to take on. If you are wondering, or if you have questioned how to improve your self-reflection, here are some ways that I feel will really help guide you on the path of self-reflection. The first thing is to remind yourself, when you are on a self-reflection journey, it's going to take some time for your mind to marinate on your new reflection because it's something new. And the best way to remind yourself is when you're really by yourself, where you can read inspirational and relatable messages inside your Bible. And you're having a deep and meaningful meeting with yourself. Carry a healthy image. You can start by spending some time in the morning or in your car on your way to work. I know for me, I usually listen either to NPR or Christian radio stations. It's just, it either gives me knowledge or inspiration. So those are great ways, while you're on your way to work. And also Pandora too. You can listen to different types of music as well that will help motivate you in unique ways. And while you're doing this, you'll find unique ways to really speak life into yourself. And from there on, you'll start to see improvements in areas of healthy self-image. And it's key because you're going to be able to really have a brand new outlook and perspective. And so your vision just overall becomes so brand new. So remember your uniqueness. This is really important because you have to remember that you are unique. And anything that is unique is more valuable than something that's just the same as everything else. And you really cannot be authentic until you accept your uniqueness. So always remember and find, while you're self-reflecting, that uniqueness about you. What is it that makes you stand out than your friends and everybody else that you know? Accept yourself. You have to accept yourself and just be okay with it. Be okay that you are not like your friends or anyone else that you know. And if you don't accept that, you'll always accept being like somebody else. And that's really not where you want to be. Keep a journal so that you can regularly keep note of your thoughts and your feelings. Observe your emotions by asking yourself, and this is, a practice that I've done for so many years, open-ended questions, because open-ended questions can really guide you to provide solvable solutions. And this is really a great way to help get a better understanding of you and of areas of your growth as well. You will be amazed at all of the things that will fix in your life when you self-reflect. Your self-reflection is what's going to lead you to love and enjoy you as God has intended and created. You become your own best friend, and you'll find that you really enjoy spending time with yourself. You'll also begin to notice that you have weaknesses, but you also have strengths, that you make mistakes, and that you are not your mistakes. When you don't reflect, you go through life without thinking and moving from one area to the next, where you don't analyze and see what's going well and what's not working in your life. And that's really not a healthy place that you really want to be. And so I encourage you to take the time to self-reflect. Think about what's happening, what's working, what's not working, what can be done, and what can't be done. Those are not just questions of self-reflection, but they're your guidance toward your journey from self-reflection. Self-reflection is courage. It's courageous because it's all about observing, contemplating, improving, and more importantly, carrying out. Being at your greatest peak in life, it comes when you examine yourself and engage in your future. And so I encourage you to value the self-reflection path that you seek and that you begin, because ultimately it's going to be your, not just your home, but your destination as well. And I hope you have a beautiful and blessed weekend ahead.